Grown man business, priceless experiences, Napa Valley wine tasting, spoiling my women friends, sitting at the tables with millionaires. The narrative is tax loops, accounts offshore squares. It's not allowed.
Man, we are live. We are live. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Hopefully everything is good with you and yours, wherever you at. If you know the routine here and you know how I give it up, if you can see me, press 1. And if you can hear me, press 2. Let's already start the build with likes and shares. I shouldn't have to tell you how to give it up because today's build is going to be fire. And if you are a person that is not looking for confirmation bias, then the conversation is going to be great for you. If you are an individual that will go anywhere knowledge takes you, then the conversation is going to be great for you because this is a above the neck conversation. It's not an ego conversation. It's above the neck conversation. And we're going to be talking about the woman, but we're going to be talking about it from an above the neck place. No pandering, no simping, none of that. We're going to pull from our occult base so we could get a better understanding of what we're doing here. But first, let me say, RIP to DMX. Tough one. I was tough to decide on where I wanted to go with my conversation. But I don't believe in knee-jerk reactions. I got to sit with that for a second because DMX has been a part of my life since I was 13 or 14 years old. The first time I heard DMX, he was on the LL remix for 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay out the dark when I catch you when it's on the down. When I can't come up off it, I'm gonna run it down, right? So yeah, I also want to say that with great talent is also great demons, right? And we all have them. The more talented you are as a man or a woman, you know, the world is wondering what is the source of that talent. And a lot of the source of that talent comes from hurt. And you have to have people around you that know what they're looking at because that hurt can be weaponized for other people's benefit. But the source of great talent oftentimes is a lot of pain. And Mary J. Blige, her first couple albums, classics. It's a lot of pain in there and people love it. It makes great TV and it makes great songs. But you got to thank your artist because it's your artist that is pushing the world forward. It's your artist that is saying what you're afraid to say. It's your artist that question the government. They use their art to speak a language that the average man and woman is not speaking. So while you dance to it and you have, you enjoy the songs, understand the greater the artist, the greater the pain. Now you don't think about that when you put on your favorite shit. The greater the artist, the greater the pain. So we thank Earl Simmons for sharing his pain with the world. And we got to enjoy classics at his expense. So I don't want to do a build on him just yet because it's too fresh. And that is a part of my childhood. And I got to sit with that again because DMX was an artist that found a lot. Where we heard him, he spoke to where we was at, right? He spoke for the low man, the little guy, and the little woman on the totem pole. And we are thankful for that. And so I got to sit with that. I'm not ready to all the way go in on that. Yeah. So RIP to the dark man. I got to sit with that for a second. If I'm pixelating, bear with me. We're going to keep it rocking. My philosophy is top shelf for nothing but today. On the strength of DMX, we're not going to be bougie for the message sake. Right. So welcome to Coin Gang Ministries. If you don't know what we do here, it's a personal development ministry. And we invest in the number one stock in the world, which is the accountability business. And that stock is not publicly traded. And accountability is going to be one of the topics that is really important today as we talk about the clan of Adam. I'm going to give you a term today that you can use. It's called the clan of Adam. And I'm going to tell you what group belongs to that clan because it's an actual thing. We believe in heaven now. We believe in root chakra activation. That means our bare need, our necessities, food, clothes, and shelter. We like that on 10. We believe in value for value. Do what thou wilt, but do no harm. We believe in necessary narcissism. That means taking the positives from narcissism, like having an inflated sense of importance and making that our own. That's important in a world that kicks you down. I think DMX could have used narcissism, especially for what he came from. Because when you come from backgrounds like that, when you come from backgrounds like we do, you need narcissism to scale. You need an inflated sense of importance when you are a neglected child. The ghetto doesn't do well with talent. The ghetto doesn't do well with people that need an extra word. So there are some people that necessary narcissism can change all that. These traumas that we love to discuss, the best way to fix that is a certain level of narcissism, because you have to think you're important out here. For what DMX came from, he was a little too humble and people loved it. He was humble, but he come from trauma and he come from pain and he come from neglect and lack of love. So when you come from that, you need something to elevate you just to get to zero. So we're here at Coin Gang, we practice necessary narcissism. And we also practice selfish now, selfless later, top shelf or nothing. That's my usual motto. But for today, not really feeling the way my internet is acting up, but on the strength of DMX, we're going to keep it rocking. But it's usually top shelf or nothing, fair exchange, no robbery, and most importantly, 9 on the dope. That means something. 9 on the dope. That means everything we do got to be fire. Today we're talking about Eve misunderstood. Eve misunderstood. Eve of the Bible. Misunderstood. And it's the misunderstanding of Eve that has our dynamics the way it is. Imagine that. Imagine in a technological world, we still have outdated dogma. In a technological world, in the information age, in the age of the internet and Neuralink and SpaceX and Amazon, in the age of streaming, we have not upgraded our belief systems to match the technology. So we are still under a thinking of misinterpreted scripture. So we're going to talk about Eve misunderstood, because it really is. And when you misunderstand Eve, you misunderstand the woman. And when we're done today, I'm going to show you that the man and the woman come from 2 different places. We ain't the same. This is why our language to each other doesn't land a certain type of way, because we ain't the same. We don't have the same origin. We're going to talk about the clan of Adam. The clan of Adam. The genuine article. We're going to talk about man, know thyself. And we're going to talk about the power of light. Look, the world is based on ideals, right? And those ideals are based on whoever wins the war. Whoever wins the war gets to control the ideal, right? Listen to what I'm saying. If you are an oppressed people or a conquered people, then you are in the ideals of another group of people. The problem with that is you are in their language too, and you're going to use language and not understand what the language means. Their culture is going to become your culture. You're going to see the world through their lens, but you're not going to have any understanding about the group of people that's conquering you. Many of you use the term white supremacy. Many of you claim that you have a slave history and that you've been conquered and that you're an oppressed group of people. But what does that mean, though? In your oppression, you never check the language. You never check the language when you say you're oppressed. I'll give you an example. Because you read a Bible, but you don't understand the language. In understanding language, we have to use something called etymology. Etymology, because etymology tells us where words come from. Etymology tells us how those words change in different regions of the world. So the oppressed people, right? The oppressed people of the world use the word God. But how come when the oppressed people use that word, it does not have impact for the oppressed people like it does for the oppressor? Why? Because you're in another person's language. So let's examine a little bit the word God, because this is important. Because if we don't understand the word God, how can we understand woman? How can we understand man? How can we understand our reality if we don't even understand the words that we're using? Right? So when we look at the word God, it starts off saying Old English, supreme deity, the Christian God. That's the modern usage, right? But now look at where the word actually comes from. Proto-Germanic, Old Saxon, Old Frisian, Dutch, Old High German, Old Norse, right? Now, when they use the word God, it has a different impact on their life because it's their word. He who controls the word controls the world. Words create worlds, right? Words create worlds, right? Okay. Now, scroll down just a little bit. When the word God was in usage with the Germanic tribes, this is what it meant. It meant a burial ground. It meant to pour a libation. You use the word God in a different context. But when you use it, it still has the same original meaning that it had from the rip. This will explain why Big Mama been praying to God for hella and have not received a blessing. Why? Because it ain't our word. And no matter what we intend the word to mean, it means what it meant from the rip. Words create worlds. We use the word God, but the word does not change our reality. If it did, then you can't explain being marginalized. You can't explain being raped and oppressed and broke, because this word eventually would kick in and those that use it, it would begin to benefit. But it's not benefiting because we're in another group of people's language and we don't study the so-called oppressor, right? You have to go to etymology, the origin of a word. The word God had, it's from the Visigoths, the Germanic tribes. All right? And when they use it, it hit different. See, when I bring you into my language, if I conquer you, you come into my reality. Language is important because we're dealing with sound, we're dealing with frequency, we're dealing with vibration. I cannot conquer you until I pull you into my language, right? So in my language, I'm going to call you black, even though you might have a nation that you are born unto. But I'm going to call you a label and a term. And in my language, the term that I'm placing on you is deaf, is a negative. And then guess what? Naturally, those oppressed people begin to go by the label, and they begin to identify with the words of the oppressor, especially as you erase the old people that remember the old way. So now you have people born into the language and they don't know what it means. Why is this important? Because we're reading Bibles and we are associating certain behavior with men and women, and we are going off creation stories without studying mythology. Are you with me? I just wanted to start with the word God. We don't even know what it means. We give things meaning in our mind, but that ain't what it means. When a person from North Carolina uses the word hyphy, it ain't the same as a person from the Bay. It don't land the same. That's their word. You can use it, but it's not going to have the same impact. It's not going to have the same frequency. It's not going to have the same reach because you ain't from that place. And the language that we use, I believe, has a neurological impact on us. There's an emotional attachment to the language that we use. And if you can use that slang, but it don't land the same. So when you use the word God, it don't land the same because you ain't German. So let's start with the word God. And if we're off with the word God, then what else are we off? What about the way we look at the woman? Maybe that is off too. Or is that simping? Right? It doesn't appeal to the confirmation bias. Is that simping? Let's find out though. But before we get to that, let me show you something else. When you are in other people's culture, you are also in their art too. And their art begins to take control of the way that you see the world. Your concept of hell that we were taught with the devil and the pitchforks, and you going to hell and you going to burn. Do you know that concept comes from a creation called Dante's Inferno? Because when Europe came to America, they brought their traditions and their culture with them. So their traditions and their culture becomes your tradition and your culture. The problem is you don't know about it though. So the way that you see hell, that's created by plays and art. Dante's Inferno had 9 levels of heaven. 9 levels of hell. Here they are. What you think about hell and the lake of fire comes from Dante's Inferno. The same way where hip-hop music, the language in hip-hop becomes mainstream, the art becomes part of our day-to-day. Well, that happens in every culture. The art becomes part of the day-to-day. And then generations go on and they don't have a clue how things got the way that it was. Your concept of hell is from Dante's Inferno. Let me just show you the levels. You can look this up on your own. The concept of the devil being under the ground and you gonna burn for your sins. First off, the word sin is a moon god from Mesopotamia. All of our things that we do can be traced to pagan origins, can be traced to ancient traditions and ancient mythology. So even your concept of sin, that was once a moon god. Look at this is Dante's depiction of hell right here. It's in Latin, but this is how it started. And remember, if you say and claim that your ancestors were slaves, how would a slave know about another culture's 2,000-year history and their mythoses and their legends and their plays? You're going to take everything verbatim. So this whole time you've been thinking of, I don't want to go to hell. Well, this is where it comes from. This is Dante's Inferno. Look at this. These are the levels of hell. Write that down. You could look this up on your own. Why am I going through this? Because if we're misunderstanding basic things like the usage of the word God or the usage of or concepts of hell, then when we look at men and women, we have no clue what we're looking at, because the only thing we're doing is running it to a filter of generalizations, deletion, and distortion. You don't know what a man is because you're linking the man to this thing called Adam. You don't know what a woman is because you're linking it to this thing called Eve. They're taking symbolism and mythology and folklore and putting that into day-to-day behavior with people. We got to get these likes and shares up, ladies and gentlemen. But what I'm showing you is Dante's Inferno. Look at this. This is Dante's depiction of hell and burning for the rest of your life. This is where it comes from. It is not from the word of what you consider your deity. Because for your deity to even have the ability to create hell, then that means your deity also has a level of evil in it. Because for it to create bad, it would have to be also bad. You cannot believe in a God of all love, and that God has the ability to create something bad, unless it is both, which would make sense, right? Because everything has duality to it, right? Left, right, up, down. There cannot be a deity that's all powerful and all good at the same time. You got to be both. Look at the levels of Dante. This is hell, according to Dante's Inferno, which you believe, but you didn't know that. So what you call white supremacy, you don't even know what it is. How can you claim white supremacy, but you haven't looked into the mythos and the legends and the folklore and the ways that you are living your life? How could we say we're under a system of white supremacy? Okay, well, damn, how come you haven't adjusted your way that you look at women? How come you haven't adjusted the way that you look at men? If you're under a system of white supremacy, then don't you see the gender in a European lens? Wouldn't that make sense? Femininity, masculinity. Where are you getting these ideals from? Because the best place to understand gender is reading the Kabbalion that breaks down gender, because gender is man observing something in nature. There's male and female. How do we know this? Because we look at animals. All we have to do is study nature to learn self. But this is Dante's Inferno real quick, right? And I wanted to go over this as we move on because we don't know what the hell we're doing. So all the talking points about women, it's interesting because I listen to a lot of content creators and everyone is telling women this, women that. Well, what the fuck is a woman and how long has woman existed? And if woman has been existing for millions of years, how come right now, all of a sudden, that it's just so much focus on the woman? Corporations focus on the women. Content creators focus on the women. Oh, there's a reason for that, though. And we're going to get into that reason in a second. because the topic of today is Eve and the serpent seed. Eve and the serpent seed. And we are going to really get into that. But first, we have to start with the ideal of Eve. And where does it come from? From this creation story in the Bible. But before we do that, we got to pay some bills. We'll be right back. Don't let nobody trick you into thinking that you can't do it. Don't let nobody trick you into thinking that you was just born to suffer.
Right.
Don't let nobody trick you into believing that your dreams are impossible. See, when you got game, you can make the impossible possible. When you got game, you defy the odds.
Yo.
When you got game, you make things happen. Things don't happen to you.
Talk that shit, Ken.
All things is possible with game, baby. Take it from me. I done did it from Maine to Spain.
Come through the door with it.
My game cost me. I paid for it. So you should too. Hit that Cash App. Pay like you weigh. Whatever you got is good, baby. Just bring it to the table. Can't billions. We're going to get into the creation story of Eve. But first, I got to lay the foundation and show you something. All right. Y'all know what that is, right? To the right. You're looking at the medical symbol, right? And in that medical symbol, you see a serpent going up the staff of the medical symbol, right? Interesting. Why does the medical field use a snake, a serpent? I thought the serpent was evil. Thought the serpent was bad. Do you notice the things that make a person more powerful, they call it bad, while those that rule the world use what they tell you not to use. They read the books that they tell you not to read. They indulge in the symbols that they tell you not to indulge in. And being the oppressed person, you put spookiness to the symbol. Let me tell you something. If you can't change your life and you come from generational issues, then what you've been doing is not going to work. What is so about these symbols? How come they use it? The Mayan used the symbol of the serpent. The Celtics used the symbol of the serpent. In Peru, they used the symbol of the serpent. Why? What is so interesting about the symbol of the serpent? What does it mean? Jung said the serpent shows the way to hidden things. Snakes and serpents can be found used in nearly every ancient culture as symbols for spirit, the divine, enlightenment, and the power of transformation. We still see them in our modern medical symbol, derived from the root rod of Asclepius and Hermes Caduceus. Why snakes? Why the serpent? What is so unique about the serpent? Because what we're about to see, that the serpent plays a major role in our lives, but we were taught that the serpent is bad. And we were taught that Eve's relationship to the serpent is the reason for original sin. And the reason why man needs to rule over Eve is because her relationship with the serpent, the fall of humanity, and we needed a redeemer to correct original sin. This is what they teach us. This is what the poor believes. Now, interesting, the Bible opens up this relationship with the serpent. Look, now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field. Hold on. Even right now, we link the serpent with wisdom. The serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman is speaking with the serpent. Now, we're not children here. If this was a serpent, this lady couldn't talk. But look what the serpent said. Has God indeed said you shall not eat at every tree of the garden? And what does the woman said? Now, mind you, they never record a conversation with so-called Eve and Adam. The first time in history, if you believe that this is the original woman, right? The first time she ever talks is with the serpent. The first time she speaks is not with the man. It's with the serpent. Many of you believe that Adam and Eve are the first human beings. Okay. Let's take that literal. Let's take that literal. If Adam and Eve are the first man and first woman to ever exist, the Bible records the first woman, her first conversation is with the serpent, not with her man and not with the so-called God of the Bible. It's with the serpent. So if this is her intro to talking, then that means that the woman and the serpent have a relationship with each other. But the serpent isn't bad. Remember, what is the serpent in ancient times? The serpent shows the way to hidden things. What does the divine enlightenment, the power of transformation? And notice, after this experience that so-called Eve has with the serpent, they go through a transformation process, right? So I have to lay that foundation first. The serpent isn't bad. The serpent represents transformation. The serpent also represents fertility. The serpent isn't bad. And the Bible never records Eve ever talking to Adam, ever. But it does record her talking to the serpent. We are not children here. This is above the net conversation. Well, let's look at this relationship, because the serpent is instructing Eve about something. What is it? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. But look what the serpent says back to the woman. The serpent said, you will not die, for God knows in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Pause. If you want to be God, you have to have the knowledge of good and evil first. First off, God is not what you think, the word. Also, know this. Anything that is infinite cannot be put into a word. So something omnipresent and something all-knowing cannot be put in language. You are forced to experience it in mystery. Things that can be counted can be put into language. So what you think is God is not God, because if it was, use it right now to get rid of your depression. Why the hell you got to go to a therapist? Use it right now for COVID. Use it right now for rent. Use it right now. No, you got to see a therapist. No, you need a vaccine. No, you got to go to work. Listen, so when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree desirable to make one what? One wise. She took of its fruit and ate. She also gave it to her husband, and he ate. Then the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig trees together and made themselves covering. What does that mean? Knowledge. Knowledge. To raise an individual from the dead is not literal. Knowledge. To go from being blind and now you see, that's based on knowledge. Look, then the Lord God said to Adam, where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. And he said, who told you you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree which I've commanded you not? Then the man said, listen, and listen clear. Because we'll get into this, because here is the segue into the clan of Adam. Any man walking the earth that believes he is part of the descendant of Adam is a man that cannot accept accountability for his behavior. Why? Because the first man, if you believe this, the first man that ever existed in human history, when asked for ownership of his behavior, he said, the woman you gave to be with me, she gave it to me. The clan of Adam is anyone, listen what I said though, any guy that thinks he's from Adam. I'm qualifying that. If you are a male and you think you are from Adam, you will put the woman as the root of your problems. You will put the government as the root of your problems. You will put the environment as the root of your problems. Why? Because your father, in his first appearance to show the world what accountability looked like, he didn't. He blamed the woman. Right now, those descendants of the clan of Adam believe that one day they came home and their door was locked because their lady kicked them out for $50 and $80 welfare. They believe that the root cause of the problem in their environment is from the woman. But hold on, you are from the clan of Adam. I thought you were left in charge. I thought leadership and logic was natural to the male. That is a lie. Leadership and logic are learned sciences. Logic is a form of philosophy. There's 4 branches of logic. We'll get into that later. And leadership is something that people hold conferences for and summits for. This is Adam's first appearance in the world. And he doesn't say it's me. He says it's the woman. He says it's the woman. If you are from the clan of Adam, you are talking about makeup and hair and how women should be dressing. If you are from the clan of Adam, you think it's your responsibility to govern over a woman. But I thought it was man, know thyself. Man, know thyself. That is the independent thing to do. Not make content about what women are dressing. No, sir. Know thyself. You are of the clan of Adam, where you can't look deep inside of your own life and take full scale ownership of everything in your environment. That's leadership. Only if you claim to be of Adam. I didn't say all men. I'm talking about men that believe this story. Fine. You are a clan. You are a clan of men that never took accountability. How? This is the first story. This is what you told me, that this is the first man and the first woman. Cool. Well, when it was time for this man to show leadership, he did not. When it was time to be accountable, he did not. Continue the story. And the Lord God said to the woman, what is this you have done? Then the woman said, the serpent deceived me. Mind you, the man and woman never talked. You never see a conversation between Adam and Eve in the book of Genesis. Now, that's pretty interesting. Why is that? Because the woman is of something different and the man is of something different. And we'll get into that later in a second. And then the Lord begins to curse the serpent. How can a serpent be cursed? How would it even know that? Because you have done this. You are cursed more than all cattle and more than every beast of the field. On your belly ye shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity, means division. He is separating the woman from the serpent. Why? And your seed and her, her seed and the serpent's seed will be disconnected. Why? He shall bruise your head and you shall bruise his heel. What did there need to be a separation from the woman and the serpent? Why? What did the serpent represent again? The serpent represents enlightenment, transformation, the divine. You can't tell me that they don't still use the serpent. Look at the medical symbol. The serpent is alive and popping. But you see that in this curse, that the woman is being divided from the serpent. Maybe that's the reason women are in the condition that they are in globally. Because women have been detached from the serpent, because the serpent is the origin of the woman, not the man. The man is of something else, and the woman is of something else. We are different. Peep. To the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow in your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. And listen to this. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Hold on. If the woman is naturally submissive, shouldn't she have been that from the jump? No. She is submissive to her husband from a curse. Now I can read now. I can read. So what you have here is the transition of old mythologies and old gods into new gods. Here we come into something called Phallic Worship. This is when female goddesses and deities become male deities. This is not my opinion, and I'm going to show you that in a second. You don't even know the woman. I didn't know the woman. And if you can't know the woman, you don't know the woman in you. You got to be you have to have woman in you, right? You come from a woman, right? Okay. But her desire shall be for her husband, and the husband shall rule over the wife. Haven't y'all noticed this conversation right now about women and being married? What is the big deal? Why are men so pressed to talk about women and marriage? Just do you. Just do you. Why do you care? Why? Because when you're pulled into this reality, as the husband, he rules over her. That's her curse. That is her curse. Notice, she's not submissive until she's cursed. She brought the fruit to him, and he ate it. I thought men by nature are natural leaders, by nature are naturally logical. That is a fallacy. Logic is a form of philosophy. It's a way of thinking that is not natural to the male. Look, because you have heard the voice of your wife, and you have eaten from the tree which I have commanded you, you shall not eat of. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Both thorns and thistles shall bring forth you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return from the ground. For out of it you are taken. From the dust you are, and dust you shall return. But hold on, watch this. And Adam calls his wife name Eve. She didn't even have a name before that. Interesting. Before the curse, this is what they tell you, that the woman was created to be the helpmeet of man. Really? I don't see any helping going on, though. She never helped the man. She never did anything to help the man. There's no examples. You have to go to your grandfather and grandmother for the example. They got a better example of that than this story. But listen to this. Remember what the serpent said to Eve? That you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Then God comes and confirms it. Then the Lord God said, look at this. Behold, the man has become like one of us to know good and evil. Hold on. The serpent said that same thing to Eve. The serpent said to the woman, you will not die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God. Then down here it says, behold, the man and the woman has become like us. What is the relationship with the serpent and what is the relationship with Eve? First off, let's understand something. When a man gets a woman, for the most part, she's always gonna want more. Babe, let's do this. Babe, let's do that. And you niggas have misclassified the woman wanting more with masculinity. No, that is her original nature because she's of the serpent, because the serpent is about wisdom and enlightenment. So you want more. We can do this. What about this? What about that? Babe, we can do this. Or what will a woman say? Yeah, I can date a guy right now as long as he wants to do more. And y'all classify that as masculine. Why? Because you are of the clan of Adam. The woman naturally will always seek light because she is of the serpent. She did not come out of man. She is of the serpent. How do we know this? Her only conversation in the book is with the serpent, never with man, ever. Ever. And the woman was naturally never submissive to Adam. By nature, the woman is not submissive. How do we know? We study nature to understand ourselves. Female lions are not submissive. Female hyenas are not submissive. Female animals in nature are not submissive. So you mean to tell me that women, human women, have everything in common with female animals, but the woman in the human is submissive? They have relations with everything. They use the bathroom. They have children. They eat food. They have female body parts, everything. But the female human is the one that's submissive. Are you kidding me? No. This is a philosophy that is taught because remember, we are in another person's mythology and legend. Because as a man, for real, the way that you find yourself is to not be part of the clan of Adam. Because when you remove yourself from the clan of Adam, you take full responsibility and ownership and agency of your life. So this is not banging on the man. This is, if you are under the clan of Adam, you're going to see the woman a certain way. You're going to see yourself a certain way. But I want to tell you guys something interesting. That the woman and the man represent two different things. The woman is of the serpent, and the man is of something different. The man is of something different. Now, they just put out a movie to represent the different parts of the brain. Ancient history records this thing about the dragon. And in Western philosophy, we believe that our origin is from a primate. Warm-blooded, cold-blooded. So the reptile and the primate have an ancient origins, and it represents the parts in our brain. Y'all with me? Because we're going to cook. Let me show you something. How movies depict these primordial stories and essence and occult and all that shit. They just did a movie called Kong versus Godzilla. This is what we are made of. The dragon and the monkey. The dragon and the monkey. This is us. Remember, the woman is of the serpent. The man is of the earth. It's two different things. The man, the clan of Adam, is of the monkey. The woman is of the dragon, is of the serpent. Take it or leave it. You see this relationship between the reptile and the monkey play out in cinema. The Eastern world has an obsession with the dragon. The Western world has an obsession with the monkey. That is the difference between Asia and the West. The dragon and the monkey. Oh, I'm just making shit up. Okay, we'll see in a second. But understand, I just read to you your Bible, and you've been taught, oh, that's the devil. No. No, remember, the serpent in ancient culture, not what you believe. What did the ancients believe of the serpent? The ancient believed that the serpent was a positive, represented fertility, divinity, and transformation. Not what you believe. I'm not going off what I believe. I'm drawing correlations based on observation. That there is a huge difference between the man and woman. And we're trying to figure out what the hell it is. And there is a culture or a gender war because each group don't know what the hell they are. The woman is the serpent. The man, the clan of Adam, is of the monkey. And they just did a movie for Godzilla vs. King Kong. This represents two parts of the brain. Can I prove that? That there's different parts of the brain? Well, can I? Angela, I don't know. Can I? Can I? Let's take this down. What is this? The monkey brain or the lizard brain? How do you conflict? Wait a minute. The monkey brain and the lizard brain? Interesting. Well, let's check it out. There are two parts of our brain that are called into play when we argue. The old brain, hold on. We just read the scriptures where the serpent makes an appearance. Let's put our above the neck thinking caps on. This is not gossip, ladies and gentlemen. This is not other people's business. This is what we do when your dope is a 9. See, when your dope is a 9, everybody can't hit the dope. It's only for experienced people that can handle their face being numb. This is that X pill from back in the day. That blue dolphin shit. Can't explain to you. You had to be there. It's that grinding on the back of your teeth. Can't eat for 2 days. 9 on the dope. There are 2 parts of the brain called into play when we argue. The old brain, the lizard, is the primal fight or flight response. Interesting. All action and not a lot of thought. Don't we say women are emotional? So that means it's more impulsive and based on feeling, right? The other is called the new brain, the monkey brain, and involves cognitive thought processes such as empathy, reflection, and understanding. Hold on. But they say that the man is logical. Oh. The old brain is driven to protect us from physical threat by physically preparing us to fight for our life or run from it. Holy shit. We say that the woman wants what? Security. It could come in handy when there's, say, a bus hurtling towards us and we need to get out the way. It's not so handy when it's the issue of that of Oreos, or more specifically, that someone has taken the last one. Interesting. When there's no need for a physical response, no need to fight or need to flee, the cortisol builds up. As this happened, the thinking part of the new brain that emphasizes, reflects, and understands gets sidelined in favor of a more primitive, automatic, unthinking part. When this happens, there will likely be yelling, personal sledging, and aggression. Nobody listens. Nobody is heard. Disrespect will be the hallmark. But the new brain, the monkey brain, on the other hand, is the thinker. When this part of the brain is at the helm, we're likely to slow things down before we respond. Check things out, reason, listen, reflects, and communicate. When the new brain drives behavior, people feel heard, validated, and understood. That's men. Men are the monkey, women are the dragon. And these ideals about masculinity and femininity are social creations. And it's pushed by those that identify and represent with the clan of Adam. I want a woman that's fit, friendly, cooperative. That is the clan of Adam. None of that is esoteric. It's not founded on the 7 laws of the Kabbalion, the 7 liberal arts. It's not founded on anything ancient. It is founding on relationship dynamics for control and comfort. That shit is preference. It is nothing cosmic. It's not astrology. It's not scientific. It is nothing. To the left is the woman, to the right is the man. This is Kong versus Godzilla. Do you really think that they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to entertain you? And when you watch this movie, you find out that these two beings have been in an ancient battle for supremacy forever. The longest war in the world is between men and women. We are taught not even to like the woman. If the woman didn't have a vagina, we wouldn't even fuck with her. That ain't simping, that's real talk. I'm just not part of the bromance. Fuck out of here. What do the ancients say? And if your mentors weren't Shriners and people in the lodge, you don't know how the hell to read the Bible. Please. You don't know what's what. You don't know that the serpent represents a part of the brain? You really think that's a thing slithering around that a woman is talking to? But I understand that is the Board of Education's fault because they taught you what to think and not how to think. You can't think abstractly. And if it doesn't fit your confirmation bias, you just throw the shit away. Just a quick rehash. The clan of Adam is the clan that will duck responsibility. Why? Because Adam did. The woman is always going to want more. When they say you can't make a woman happy, you can't. Why? She's of the serpent. The serpent is about enlightenment. That means it's never enough. It's about being divine and transformation. You can never make a woman happy. It's not enough. She's always going to go towards more. That is the ancient makeup. I want to show y'all something. Now, this is only for the people that come to learn. Let me show y'all something. Because I know that the clan of Adam has never even put thought into this. You didn't even know that the woman was worshipped in ancient times. You didn't even know that. That there's depictions of the woman in ancient times, and she is highly revered. They didn't do what we do in hip-hop right now and call a woman a hoe. No, they elevated the woman. You don't believe me? Check this out.
In September of 2008, a team of archaeologists working in the Hohlefels cave in Germany uncovered a remarkable find, a figurine made of mammoth ivory dated to between 40,000 and 35,000 years ago.
Hold on. Look at the date. Look at the date. 40,000 years ago. Depictions of a woman. She's pregnant. They didn't call them thoughts, or they didn't call them hoes. They didn't call them bust downs. This is not my opinion. How come when they quote stats to you, you never question it? You know why? Because it goes with your confirmation bias. But if we really start digging, you're going to feel bad about yourself if you don't got confidence. Notice, they never go live from museums. They never show you no books. They just say science says. Well, what science is you talking about? Who are you talking about? Well, the Bible said. What part of the Bible? The Bible, most of it is written by the clan of Adam. Look at the date, 40,000.
Now known as the Venus of Hohlefels, this figurine is the oldest example of a representation of the human form. The exaggerated anatomy and massive breasts are a powerful depiction of being female, symbolizing the fertility goddess characteristics of sex and reproduction. Many such figurines have been found across the globe, generally interpreted as being mother goddesses.
Look at the dates. I'm not talking no Negro logic. Is this simping? Well, fine. I guarantee your daughter would enjoy this shit, though. You know why? Because she can look in history and see a time where she wasn't the nigger of the world. Look at the dates, man. This didn't always look like this, man. And as long as the seed of the serpent is a bitch and a hoe, we all lose. The babies lose. We all lose because it's about balancing the monkey and the reptile. Balance. It's not balanced. It's too much monkey, and we have basically criminalized the serpent. Even those that are the clan of Adam are suffering under the ideology. Look at the dates, man. You didn't even think that they thought about women this way. 3,000. This is an elevation. Just because something is the way it is now, don't mean it always been that. And I'm just saying, teach both. You can have male empowerment because, God damn it, men need it. I'm with it. But you don't do it at the expense of a woman's makeup or her hair. That is not know thyself, and that is not stoic.
Considered magical because of their ability to create life. The mythology of the mother goddess places her as part of a divine pair with a male consort, who could sometimes also be human. While no one can definitely say what the Holofel's Venus actually represented to people at that time, and her symbolism comes entirely from anthropologists' interpretations, what we do know is that such figurines continued to be created throughout history.
Look at the dates. 30,000, 20,000. Come on, man. Look at the dates. This ain't my opinion. Y'all literally talking about husband and wife shit without going to a museum. Remember, you are so-called conquered people. Hell, many of you white people are conquered. Constantine conquered European tribes as well. They keep all the fire for themselves and have you studying diluted mythology that you can't plug into your life, man. What's the purpose of believing something if it doesn't improve the house, man? Just for symbolism? Y'all just want symbolism. Oh, the man is the head of the household. But what if he ain't the smartest, though? What if y'all believe that Christ is going to come back? Well, let me tell you something. It's not going to come back in the clouds. It's going to come as a child like it came before. And if you are so stubborn, you won't even know when to let a child lead. As long as the man is the head. Y'all just want the imagery. But what if it don't work, though? What if that baby got to lead, though? I thought Jesus was 12 in the temple teaching the priesthood. Would you let your 12-year-old son or daughter leave the house if it had a divine spirit in the child? No, you wouldn't even know. You know why? Because you need them optics for that red pill bullshit you niggas be on.
So how does the story go? Some experts believe that women were at the top of societies from perhaps as far back as the late Stone Age, the period to which the Holofel Venus belongs, as does the Venus of Willendorf, a 30,000-year-old statuette discovered in 1908.
How come your talking heads, they talking about femininity? The woman who's supposed to lead. They never talk about anthropology or paleontology. You know why? Because it's ghetto theology. That's why. And when you are dealing with the oppressed people, you appeal to their kinesthetic reasoning of feelings and touch. That's it. Not their mind. Do you all know that people dig up shit from the ground, right? And find things on the ocean floor, right? And every time they do this, they find out that what we think about the world is a huge lie. Why? Because there was a time where the Tomb Raiders, aka the Knights Templar, went on a crusade confiscating all world knowledge. They burnt libraries. They made it their business to circumnavigate the globe and take all the fire away from humanity so the church can rule. All you got to do is look at the Knights Templar and add that with the doctrine of discovery. The conquistadors came to Central and South America and took all the fire. Them people had papyruses and scribes. They confiscated all that shit and told the world that the planet is only 6,000 years old. How is the planet 6,000 years old, but this is 30,000? We hate the woman. And this is not to big y'all up neither as women, because y'all fucking out of line. I'm talking about objective knowledge. This ain't to stroke your vagina neither. Because all that screenshot is corny. Your girl chat is corny. Your slave sis, black girl rocks is corny. You know how it's corny? Look at the babies. You can't be popping and the most educated group in the world. Look at your fucking kids, though. You don't even breastfeed them. So this ain't to big up the woman. This is knowledge. You ain't popping if them report cards ain't popping, sis.
In Austria. Alternatively, perhaps humans considered fertility an important aspect of a successful community. We fast forward to about 12,000 to 10,000 years ago and the advent of agriculture. Prior to this, humans were still hunter-gatherers and women were the original seed gatherers. Perhaps women were behind the early development of agriculture when they started selecting the best seeds for the next year's crop. It is not hard to imagine that this expertise, combined with their ability to give birth.
Look at the dates, man. Look at the dates. They're not depicting the woman as a lesser species. The clan of Adam thinks that because they're physically stronger, that they are fit for leadership and they somehow have dominion over the woman. But hold on for a second. A lion is physically stronger than men. A gorilla is physically stronger than men. So what did the clan of Adam have to do to conquer and have dominion over powerful creatures in the world? He had to develop intellect. He had to develop something above the neck to conquer a saber-toothed tiger. Strength does not make you fit for leadership. Intellect does. Because if the clan of Adam didn't develop tool making and being able to trap food, then predators in nature would have killed off the clan of Adam. The clan of Adam had to develop philosophy. You are not fit to lead over a woman because of physical strength. If we go by the same premise, then a blue whale, a shark, a lion, a tiger, a bear is fit to lead over man because they are stronger. The strong rule over the weak, but the wise rule over the strong, beloved.
And to bleed without dying could have resulted in their association with the mother goddess. Sometimes the mother goddess was a snake.
Look at the
Sometimes
dates.
she was the moon, among a variety of other representatives.
Sometimes the mother goddess was what? A snake, aka a serpent, aka what? A serpent. The mother goddess was what? Oh, they didn't have a problem with the serpent. How can you claim to be the oppressed and marginalized people, but you don't know what's what? How could you? How could you? You're oppressed and marginalized. This is what y'all say. You don't know what's what. Many of y'all don't even go to museums. What is the oldest book in your library, fam? Come on, man. The mother goddess was represented as a snake. Of course she was, because the snake is divine and the woman is of the snake.
Each signifying a cycle of birth, death, and regeneration. Around 12,000 years ago, some societies reached the cusp of moving from a nomadic lifestyle to semi-settled proto-cities, though they still got some of their food by hunting. Several such archaeological sites exist around the Levant and Turkey. One of them is Çatalhöyük, a Neolithic proto-city in Turkey, settled more than 9,000 years ago. Here were uncovered two 8,000-year-old female figurines.
Damn, man, they keep bigging up the woman. They keep creating images of the woman, and she ain't running no train, though. The reason why the women are naked is because they weren't perverts there. And they didn't giggle at naked bodies. That's from the clan of Adam. The clan of Adam sees a woman, put some clothes on. You need to put some clothes on. What is the big deal about naked woman? The clan of Adam cannot handle a naked woman. Do you know why? Because the clan of Adam does not focus on knowledge of self. When you focus on knowledge of self, you learn to incorporate things like stoicism in your thinking that makes you indifferent. So you see a naked body and you're able to control yourself. The clan of Adam does not have control over himself when it sees a woman in their nakedness. Yo, I don't care how short a woman's skirt is. She has to govern herself too. Whatever happens to her, that's on her. You, as when you in your knowledge of self, that is not a trigger to violate her. Notice all the women in these depictions are naked. These people didn't even have a terminology for a term for rape. They couldn't even process that. Rape? That is of the clan of Adam.
Both corpulent and both thought to be either powerful symbols of fertility or representing older women who had achieved status, perhaps that of goddesses. However, it is not clear that all figurines discovered worldwide and through the ages were for this purpose. Some could just have been votive offerings or representations of ancestors, or perhaps even artistic impression. It does seem, though, that almost every culture has used some maternal symbolism in the depiction of deities, highlighting creativity, birth, fertility, sexual union, nurturing, and the cycle of growth. Later Neolithic civilizations from around 5000 to 1500 BC, such as those in Mesopotamia.
Look at what I'm showing you. What I'm showing y'all is depictions of the woman thousands and thousands of years ago. She is not a hoe. She is not a slut. She is not a thought. She is not none of that. And you women have bought into the language of the clan of Adam. Do you know why? Because you have been removed from your original nature, which is wisdom, which is the serpent, because that black pastor got you following Caesar Borgia, whatever the hell his name is. Your birthplace is the serpent, and you need to honor your ancient mothers and fathers. So you will always be cursed as long as you keep running towards that image in that damn church. You belong to the serpent. You are out of line. Return home. You have bought into the talking points of the clan of Adam, because you have put your survival in the hands of the clan of Adam.
India, Egypt, and Crete had their own representations of fertility and mother goddesses in their art. In Egypt, people worshipped Mut, and her attributes changed over the 1,000 years of Egyptian culture. Also worshipped as mother goddesses were Isis and Hathor. In India, Devi was an all-embracing mother goddess of prehistoric times, with many later incarnations, including Parvati. Mehergarh is an Indus Valley site in Pakistan, where a 3000 BC fertility figurine.
Look at the, come on, man. As for real. Look, Baba Bobby Hemmett said that he will go anywhere knowledge takes him, right? And I have adapted that as my philosophy, right? Even as a student of life, how come we don't know this? How come we don't know these are depictions of women thousands and thousands of years ago? Why we don't know this? You know why? Because the clan of Adam is going through internal conflict, adjusting to its existence. So he's swallowing things up in his path. It's men that are telling women how to behave. It's men that are telling women what it is to be ladylike. It's men that are telling women what the good amount of sexual partners is. It's men that are pretty much setting the tone for all female behavior. Men with the hopes that you're going to get married, because if you don't do none of the shit that men say, you're not going to get married. Because being married is an opportunity for those of the clan of Adam to rule over the woman. Isn't that what we read in the scriptures? That the curse of Eve was that the husband will rule over her. Prior to that, man did not rule over the woman. That's not my opinion. I can fucking read. Let me guess. I got to be in the spirit of the Holy Ghost to understand scripture. No. All I got to do is sip a little bit of that yak. And that's the only spirit that I need in my body to start cooking.
Was uncovered. The West African Yoruban tradition had Yemaya, the mother of all.
How are y'all African American? What part of y'all is African? I'll be so confused. Y'all be African. Man, listen, a dashiki don't make you African. What's up with the mythology, though? You African until somebody do voodoo in front of you. Then you're like, oh, no, hell no. You ain't African, you're black. You belong to the corporate, you are a corporate creation of America. You have no attachments to the indigenous because you have no attachments to the mythologies and the legends. You ain't African. You scared of blood. You ain't African. You can't look up at the stars and know what time it is. You ain't African. You are black. And black is a product of the United States government. You have no homeland. You have no nationality, no religion. You can't figure out who you are. Hebrews, Moors. No, you are a thing, an object that is only exists on paperwork and on the United States government. You belong to the corporation because you are black. That means you are non-descendable. Shout out to Baba Taj Tariq Bey. Sabir Bey, Lord Ab, all the Morris niggas. When they said black means deaf, you had everything to say about them. Now nationality is important. Who the hell are you? Because you can't go to the UN and say, I'm a black person. You don't exist in history and you ain't African. Because if you were, where's your mother goddesses, beloved?
Brought into the Caribbean by slaves and who was eventually syncretized with Mary, mother of Jesus. Inanna or Ishtar is the Assyrio-Babylonian Sumerian goddess of fertility, war, love, and storm.
Ishtar is the symbol of the Statue of Liberty. That's Ishtar. The harlot sitting on top of the water. That's Ishtar, the Statue of Liberty. Where do you think they just make these symbols up out of their head? That is an ancient symbol sitting in the harbor of New York, Ellis Island. Inside of the Statue of Liberty, look inside, she has scrolls in there. You just think people create symbols out of nowhere? No, man, this is from the old world. They give you the bullshit.
Storms, from whom the Phoenician goddess Astarte was derived. And from Astarte, we got Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, lust, desire, sexuality, pleasure, passion, fertility, procreation, and beauty.
Yo, Black America don't even have any female deities. Every culture in the world in ancient times had mother goddesses. It's so crazy. If I told a black woman that God was a woman, she would look at me crazy. Sis, God is a woman. What? You know why? Because as a black woman, you got an addiction to that black peen. You know how I know as a black woman, y'all got addiction to that black peen, no matter what y'all say? Because female content creators be going live on YouTube and y'all don't do no super chats. But then when you go over to the male spaces, you giving these niggas all the money. Stop it, Five. Stop it, Five. Protect black women. No, y'all protect each other because black women don't like black women. How about that? Y'all will cut each other's face. Y'all will cut each other over some cock. Stop it, Five. Let me see you protect a black woman first.
Also identified as the Roman goddess Venus. The pre-Islamic Arabians had their own mother goddess, the lunar goddess Allah.
This is where Allah comes from. Allah comes from Allat. Uh-oh. Even in the Middle Eastern world, their deity first was a female goddess. Allah is from Allat. We are in phallic worship. Notice all the male deities are, all the dominant deities in the world are male. Why? It's phallic worship. It's phallic worship. We are worshiping the peen.
Daughter of their moon god, Allah, and an equivalent of Aphrodite. You can still see representations of the crescent moon in Islamic iconography. They all had many attributes and characteristics, often signifying not only a separate stage in the female life cycle, creation, birth, growth, and sexual union, but also the phases of the moon, the worship of which was highly advanced during this period. The classic period in Greece after 500 BC brings us to the triple goddess that symbolize the three stages of women: the maiden, the mother, and the crone, each of which is associated with the new, full, and waning moon.
Come on, man. Come on, man. The maiden, the mother, and the crone. Come on, ladies. Where the women students at? How y'all want to be pregnant and barefoot so bad, but you don't want to be no student though. But you gonna have babies and teach them what? Your milk from the breast is not the only thing you're gonna teach your children, sis. Can you teach them about stars and signs and symbols, huh? No, you just want to be up under some nigga. If I tell you to get free, you're gonna run to balls. That's your ideal of freedom. Resting in your femininity under some balls. That's freedom to you, sis. You need to get your money back from all the goddamn courses that you took. That's freedom under balls. That ain't freedom. Man, know thyself. Let me tell you what freedom is, sis. The serpent shows the way to hidden things. Freedom is going back to the essence, back to the darkness, back to that which is hidden, not under some nigga. That ain't freedom. Because you're running under the clan of Adam that don't even practice knowledge of self. And when I was nigging, oh man, I love for you to run up under a nigga like me, because I'm going to take your whole goddamn mind. And I had ill intent for you, oh yeah. Because I don't want to be alone. Yeah, I love a woman like you. My hand right up on your skirt and in your purse. You better go back to the darkness. You better go back home and back to the serpent, beloved, because that's going to help the nation. That's going to help the children. Go back to the dark, man. Go back to where you came from, the serpent. And dying alone on righteous standing is better than dying alone being a nigga's wife. The hell? You can never die alone when you die righteous, because you take wisdom with you. Dying alone. But you're not righteous though. You ain't taking wisdom with you though. No, you die in good standing on the planet so you don't gotta come back and do this shit no more. One and done. It's many levels of existence. This is the lowest one. Things move slow here. When you die, junk DNA activates. You don't even know what it's like to be alive for real. But you'll break your neck to be a nigga's wife. Don't let the clan of Adam put you under their wing. The clan of Adam is not practicing knowledge of self. Your counterpart in life is a man that is seeking knowledge of self. I ain't saying he's super nigga. I ain't saying he's perfect. But righteousness comes before you. That's the nigga you want to be with. That'll put righteousness and being in good standing before you. That's what they don't tell you, though. That's what they don't tell you. All this high value talk, but nobody can look up at the sky and interpret signs and symbols, because what they're calling high value, the Jesus Christ character they're believing, is the total opposite of that. He came in on a donkey. He was healing the sick, raising the dead. He was with the whores and the convicts, with the pookies and the ray-rays. On the cross, he was talking to the criminal. Y'all niggas hella out of line. How can you be high value, but you believe in Jesus? Wouldn't being Christ-like be the most high value you can be? Yeah, okay. If you're going to be about that Bible, be about that Bible, not just when you want to put a bitch in her place. Be about the Bible then, nigga. And by the way, Christ told you not to divorce your wife unless it was sexual immorality going on. So you don't get to divorce your wife because you're not happy no more. And I ain't even Christian. Y'all part-time Bible niggas, you are the clan of Adam. And you pick and choose what part of that scripture fits your confirmation bias. And you lucky these girls don't read. So they fall right in line. You know why? Because they ain't returned back to the serpent. Because if they return back to the serpent, they would check all that high value talk with righteousness and scripture. A goddamn job don't make you high value. You can't look up at the sky and tell what time it is. Jesus came on a donkey. How you believe in Christ? He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. How you believe in Christ? He said you only get insights from prayer and fasting. How you believe in Christ? How are you high value? How are you them dudes? What is the initiation to get in Pythagoras mystery school? You had to be quiet for 3 to 5 years. Oh, y'all in that other lodge, though. That Prince Hall Mason lodge, though. Y'all got the blue house looking trash.
The most famous ancient triple goddess was the Roman goddess Diana, who had the triple aspects as huntress, the moon, and the underworld. Diana incorporated aspects of the Greek goddess Hecate and of Artemis, the Greek goddess of hunting, wild nature, and chastity. Artemis' most famous cult site was as a fertility goddess at the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Both Diana and Hecate seem to be originally only maiden goddesses, later conflated with the three fates, who controlled the destiny of mortals and corresponded to the phases of the moon. Diana and Hecate then acquired the additional mother and crone characteristics. The Greek fates are equivalent to three Norns of Norse myth, Urd, Verdandi, and Skuld, who weave the fates of mankind. The Hindu religion has its own version of the triple goddess.
I'm going to stop right here, but y'all get the gist. See, we're talking anthropology. We're talking about the ancient shit. And we're seeing thriving cultures because of what they thought of the woman. As long as we approach the woman the way that we approach it, we all lose, yo. Because it's not balanced. The ancient struggle of the serpent and the monkey is not in line with each other. They just gave y'all the movie, man. And in the movie, they talk about this conflict is millions of years old. Now, we read the scriptures. For those that believe in the Bible, the first conversation a woman ever has is with the serpent, not man. The serpent. And as long as males identify, hear me and hear me clear. As long as you identify with the clan of Adam, you will always see the woman in an inferior way, and you will always duck accountability. It is beneficial for you to step outside of the clan of Adam and go independent and seek knowledge of self, seek indifference, seek a different kind of light, but put the clan of Adam down because it's going to even hurt you because it ain't of your culture, for real, for real. So I'm going to put that down. So the clan of Adam is desperately trying to put women in their place. Desperately trying to put a woman in their place. We're going to talk about the clan of Adam. I hope y'all good. We cooking, right? Rest in peace, DMX. You know what I mean? An individual that didn't cheat the craft and that sweated for the people. So I'm going to dedicate this build to Earl Simmons. And we are going to have more conversation about that clan of Adam right after this break. Yo, this is Ken Billions. I wanted to let you know about an amazing opportunity. Secrets to Getting Heaven on Earth series is half off. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity. Help me help you turn your no's into yeses. Help me help you master the science of campaigning. Help me help you to get heaven on earth. Go ahead and check that out with promotional code HEAVEN or just follow the link. I went in on that thing, you know, nothing but game. But let's get into some of the things of clan of Adam. Because in the clan of Adam, they say that the man should lead. And I agree, only if he has the science of leadership. Whoever has the science on which way to go should be the leader. Imagine a guy telling Harriet Tubman, I should lead. No, they let that woman lead because she knew which way to go. What is leadership? I wanted to look at leadership from a military perspective because those that are in the military have to carry out missions and take accountability and be responsible. This is taught to you. So leadership is not natural. Now there's a seed of it. You might have a natural thing of charisma and be a visionary, but there's a science to it. Now you tell me, is this natural to a man specifically? That means you were born this way. You have this thing in you already. Know yourself and seek self-improvement. Be strategically, technically, and tactically proficient. Develop a sense of responsibility among your team. Make sound and timely decisions. We know that's not natural to a man because men don't even like who they had children with. So make sound and timely decisions. Well, we know that's not natural to a man. You got to be taught that. You would not have a baby mama if this was natural to you. Listen to what I'm telling you. If the clan of Adam was really naturally born leaders, then wouldn't you know who to have a child with? You know how many men are in conflict with the woman they had a baby with? That's not leadership. That is lazy for the man. Oh yeah, because women are emotional and we're logical. No. You got it backwards. See, we'll look to the Kabbalion and apply the laws of polarity, maybe? Let me tell you what I mean. Man is hard on the outside. Woman is soft on the outside. Man is soft on the inside. Reverse. Women are hard on the inside, soft on the outside. Men are hard on the outside, soft on the inside. Men be in their feelings. Know how I know? Take his girl. The woman walk in on you and her sister, cry about it, forgive later. Hump her best friend. I'm mad at you. The woman on the inside is harder than the man. A man can't get over a heartbreak. It ruins him. That's the balance. Hard on the outside, soft on the inside. Soft on the inside, hard on the outside. It's the balance. Physically strong, soft on the inside. Physically weak, hard on the inside. Women are emotional. Where y'all get that from? It's dudes that look at each other and be, yo, what you looking at? Is it possible that women are mirroring men's emotions? See, I get the behind the scenes conversation with women of all ages, and you niggas be soft. That's not a dish. We are weak on the inside. That's why we need philosophy. You are wrong. Leadership is not natural to the male. Anybody can learn it. It is not your birthright. It is not a hormone that makes you a leader. If that's the case, how come a lot of y'all your homeboy be moving you around? If the man is the natural leader, then how the fuck you get jumped in a gang then? If leadership is natural to you. If leadership is natural to the male, why you calling other niggas big bro? Nah, big bro. Big homie. Man, he 3 years older than you. Come on, fam. Yeah. If it's leadership, what's up with all the cliques and the groups and shit? If leadership is natural to you, go your own way at all times, and you always put your self-interest above all, not the homies, not the block. See? You'll tattoo your homeboy's name on you. Yo, block. That ain't leadership. Yeah. I'm with my niggas. It's all about the bros. Y'all was just mad at Derek Jackson talking about he threw y'all under the... That nigga can't throw me under the bus. Only I can do that. That nigga can't speak for me. I'm responsible for my own effery, yo. Yeah. You broke the bro code. I don't got no code with y'all. The codes I follow is mentalism, vibration, gender, correspondence, duality, rhythm, polarity, arithmetic, geometry, music, logic, reason, rhetoric. That's it. Tools to navigate. Not no bro code, because a lot of y'all be snitches too. So I ain't following the bros, because y'all haven't got street rules, and y'all, it's too different. There's no standard set behavior. Oh, man, you slept with my woman, so I'm going to tell on you. Nigga, that's not how it goes. You down. That's all it is. So until y'all get that go, I'm gonna follow the ancient principles of man know thyself and go my own way. But these are leadership principles, and this is not natural to no man. A baby can learn this stuff. Parents, mothers and fathers will send their male child to the military for guidance and to get yourself together. That's not a leader, but you can learn it though. All right. Now, once a guy got it, man, he got it. We've seen him, a Malcolm, a Garvey, a JFK, you name it, a Napoleon. Once the male got it, he got it. But he has to learn it though. Right? Know your team and look out for their welfare. Keep your team informed. Seek responsibility and take responsibility for your actions. Hold on for a second. Shall we go back for a second to the origins of the clan of Adam? Now look at this. It says these are the principles of leadership, right? Seek responsibility and take responsibility for your actions. All right. Let's check out Adam. So what happened with Adam? Now, this is the first man that ever existed, right? Right? This is the first man. When his creator came for him, what did Adam say? He said, who told you they were naked? You have eaten from the tree which I have commanded you not to eat. Then the man said, this is the first man ever to exist on the planet. This is what y'all believe. This is what y'all say to get women in line. Yeah, Eve is a help me. All right. This is what he said. The man said, oh, the woman you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I ate. Hold on for a second. Let's go to the principles of leadership one more time. Seek responsibility and take responsibility for your actions. So man is by nature the natural leader. It's important of above the neck thinking, above the neck philosophy, right? Man is not a natural leader because the example of Adam, y'all father, this is what y'all believe. Adam did not show leadership. In fact, we could argue that the behavior of the woman in the opening creation story, she was leader. She made man eat the fruit. Of course she did. Why wouldn't she? She's of the serpent. The serpent shows the way to hidden things. Remember, the woman's first conversation is a conversation with the serpent. She never talks to the man. Never. But she does have a full-fledged conversation with the serpent. And they just produced a movie to tell you exactly who the woman is, who she's of. This is the ancient battle between the reptilian mind and the monkey mind. The man is of the monkey. The woman is of the serpent. The woman will always seek more. She will always want to do more. She will always look at shiny things. The man oftentimes is the one complacent in a slumber. And many men are not activated until they get a woman, or a woman shines the light on him and tells him about himself. You can do it, baby. And then he rises. And when he got it, he got it. The issue that y'all are having in y'all communication is you don't know who each other are. Sounds far-fetched, huh? But I already read the monkey mind and the reptilian mind. So we know that's a thing. The woman is of the serpent. She is not of the man. Because if she was of the man, wouldn't they have understanding? Man and man understand each other. Women and men communicate differently because they are different. Not just based on hormones, based on something ancient and esoteric. Right? Y'all rocking out tough, man. Y'all good crowd. Look, they also tell you that man is naturally logical. All right, well, what are the 4 branches of logic? Without Google, can anyone tell me the 4 branches of logic without Google? Did y'all know logic was a branch of philosophy? Let me beat to it. The 4 branches of logic are informal logic, formal logic, symbolic logic, mathematical logic. Naturally logical people would know this already, right? No, it's a degree of thought. And you had to be initiated into the mystery school in ancient times to understand logic. That wasn't for the poor man. Informal logic, formal logic, symbolic logic, mathematical logic. For the record. So next time y'all hear someone say a man is naturally logical, ask them the 4 branches of logic. Look, there's this thing called the genuine article, right? And what the genuine article is a person or thing considered to be an authentic and example representation of their kind. So it's basically someone or something that's one of one, right? The genuine article. When I hear men talk to women about what they should do and this, that, and the third, it boggles my mind because that individual is not the genuine article. They don't represent excellence in their kind. You can only do that when you seek knowledge yourself. Because you won't ever have to correct a woman. All you have to do is leverage your own behavior. Hey, sis, this is what I do. Y'all expect sexual discipline from women, but you can't do it. It would hit different if you say, I've been abstinent 2 years. You want discipline from the woman. You want character from the woman. You want a code and conduct from the woman. But you're not that. You're making videos about Cardi and Meg, but y'all like that shit though. Make it make sense. The girl Bad Baddie, Catch Me Outside, made $1 million in 6 hours on OnlyFans. Y'all saying weird things. On one hand, you are trying to leverage how a woman should behave, but then you turn around and support what you say you don't like. That is not the genuine article. But I understand. That's the behavior of the clan of Adam. An individual man that practices knowledge of self, the way that you correct man, woman, or child is just by saying, look at me. And people are either going to shit or get off the pot. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm not gang related. I'm game related.
Word.
Game got me on my mama's house. Game got me traveling in this entire world, man, from Maine to Spain. Game got me out of the hood, man. I done put the ass on their back because of game. I ain't lying. So when these words come out of my mouth, man, and you hear them, it's gonna change your life. You're gonna feel better, think better, move differently. This is why I believe in value for value. So I give you the game, and you give me the cash. Fair exchange, no robbery. Can't build it.
I want to talk about the power of light. And I want to talk to my Christian brothers, or supposed to be Christian brothers, and those that profess Christianity. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Because y'all, it's a bunch of high value talk, but nothing practical. Now, this is for the women. This is interesting. Do you know your Bible says, let the woman keep silence in church, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under the obedience, as also saith the law. Remember, the woman is under the man because of a curse. Remember that. But let's just go with scripture literally. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in church. Now, that's interesting, Joyce Meyer, Juanita Bynum. Y'all have weird Christianity to me. Y'all pick and choose what y'all want to choose. That's neither here nor there. Do you? I want to talk to the men. Look, it says, Let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. Now, for the Christian brothers out there, for the woman to ask the husband at home means that the husband must be a man of understanding. The power of light. A woman will leave a rich man for a smart man. He might not got a pot to piss in, but she will hump on him. She will risk her day-to-day to be taught something. I know. Because I done slept with rich niggas' wives and I ain't rich. But I do got a degree of light, even in my nigging, even in my backsliding, still had a certain element of light. And that light was able to attract the woman. Why? Because the woman is of the serpent, and she will always go towards what is hidden. The snake and serpents represent divine enlightenment and the power of transformation. So a lot of y'all be asking a woman, oh, but he's a good dude. Why you ain't marry him? Let me tell y'all something, man. More women are sapiosexual than they are about money. How the hell do you explain a homeless woman running around with a homeless man? You think hypergamy is just houses. Hypergamy also deals with intelligence as well. I can knock your bitch. Trust me. How can? First off, I'll build rapport with her. Rapport? Yeah. I'll listen to her conversation first off to see what kind of individual she is. What does that mean, Ken? Well, if she is a woman that says, you know what, I see, mentions vision a lot, clarity, well, she's a visual person. So that means when she thinks, that's what she thinks in visions. She'll say things like, I see you. When she talks, it's always going to include some form of sight. If she's auditory, she'll say things like, instead of I see you, I hear you. But she might be kinesthetic and she might say, I feel you. I can take your bitch. Because I understand that she's of the serpent. And she's going to go towards anybody that has the light. Instead of asking the woman why they are turning down engagements, y'all don't even ask them why. A lot of these niggas is corny. And anything he could provide, they got apps for that. For real. There's an app for that. Maybe it might go back to the way it before if the government collapsed, but it ain't collapsed. So the thing that the average man brings to the table, there's an app for that. But it ain't no app for this shit that's coming out my mouth, though. This is 101, and I don't give no game for free. So the only nigga that's like me, he's in Antarctica. Ain't no app for this. It's an app for what y'all do, though. if they ask anything, ask their husbands at home. So that means that the husband is an actual thing. That means a husband is a man of understanding. Y'all steady telling women they got to be a wife first. You got to be a husband first. And a husband reads signs and symbols. A husband has a library. Y'all take the concepts of protecting and providing and still have the Paleolithic, Neolithic associations with it. Now, a man that is a protector is a guy that could protect a woman from bad information and bad teaching. A provider male is a male that can provide good and sound teaching. We are not in the Stone Age anymore. You have not adjusted to the time frame. A woman doesn't need the protection of a saber-toothed tiger. And half you niggas ain't got no hands anyway. So what are you protecting a woman from? If a dude can fight, walk straight up on you, punch you in your mouth, what are you going to do? So when you say a protector, and protecting them from what? You know what you got to protect them from? Remember, the woman is going to seek light. So you got to protect her from the magazines. Because when she reads the magazines, she is going to bring that into the home. You got to protect her from girl chat. And you women, if you are really walking in the serpent way, then you are not going to get defensive when your man tries to teach you. Because I will agree, men do want cooperation. Don't nobody want to teach no stiff-necked woman. And some of y'all can't nobody tell you shit. Shut your fucking mouth. Seriously. And I'm going to tell you like that. And I don't care if you got a man problem. It's his job to protect you from bad information and provide sound teaching. But can't nobody tell y'all shit, though. I understand, too, though. See, that's a lot of trust. It's about trust, right? It's a lot of trust, right? The seed of the serpent does not trust the descendants of the clan of Adam. I get it. I get it. You don't trust. But you shouldn't be in no relationship if you're not ready to trust. Just stay dolo, right? You profess Christianity, but your Bible says in Corinthians that you ain't even supposed to be talking in the church. So let me tell you something about Ken Billions, right? A little background on me. When I ain't standing on couches and nigging and thotting, and I go into my purpose, oh, I'm a bad boy. Right? Oh, I know this Bible, and I know that Quran, and I know that Kabbalion, and I know all the shit. So when I'm in my purpose, it is my duty to break bread with the woman. Not just in physical bread, sparring on intellect. Not as a brute, though. Not saying that I know everything. Ask questions. Hear her out. Her perspective. Don't name call if she don't know what I know. Because here's the thing, right? Now every man must be careful. You be careful about the knowledge that you introduce the woman to, because she gonna live it better than you. So you got to be careful about what you tell her. Because once she's on it, she's on it. You know how I know? Look at the church. Who up in there? And you can't tell them women shit about no Jesus. So that's the thing. That's why you got to be the genuine article. Because she going to be looking at you. That's a lot of pressure. So you got to be real careful about the knowledge that you share with her, because she's going to become it naturally, because she's the seed of the serpent. The serpent represents wisdom and information, right? So this is for the Christian dudes. You look, you either in or you out on this thing, right? The woman don't talk in public. She come back home and ask her husband. That means the husband is an actual resource for information, though. Y'all got the game backwards. You know why? Because we've all drunk from the cup of abomination, yo. We all Hollywood out, yo. Because we in another people's culture doing what they do. What they think is hot, we think is hot. What's important to them is important to us. And we ain't standing on anything. I don't want to hear nothing about no high value talk. If you profess to be a Christian and the highest level of Christianity or the highest level of being high value is not being Christ-like. Well, man, please. It ain't being a good businessman. Ain't it to walk in the image and the likeness of Christ? Nigga pulled up on a donkey. And chopped it up with the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Went to the slums and taught the people and had a concern with the widows. But y'all talk bad about the single mama. But guess what? Mary was a baby mama, because Jesus ain't Joseph's. So Joseph was taking care of another nigga's kids. Your God came from a baby mama. Joseph woke up one day and Mary was pregnant. And it ain't his. You generation of vipers, you. But I understand you need to get that love out of your heart and that hatred for the woman out of your heart. And I understand. Forgive your mother and your grandmother and her aunt and your aunties for their shortcomings. That was your intro to women. And you caught them being human. And you've been carrying that your whole life. I understand. I get it. Because I'm just now forgiving my mom. And you will never get far as a man if you don't forgive your mom. She's a human first before she was your mother. Straight like that. She's a human first. And if you didn't have no daddy, she had to make mistakes in front of you. Who are you to judge, yo? But that's okay, because life got a funny sense of humor. Your babies is going to grow up and give your ass a report card too. And you think you got everything right. You think they don't see everything. You think you hiding your flaws. Yeah, okay. So that same judgment that you giving your aunties and your granny and your mom and women that you grew up around, your baby's going to give you that same judgment, that fire and brimstone. We're human first, man. You know? But y'all putting a lot of pressure on wives, and y'all not husbands. Because a husband is a thing. It's a thing you do behind the scenes. So I challenge you to break away from being the clan of Adam and seek knowledge itself. Seek the temple. It's difficult, it's hard, it's ugly, but you can do it. And we're going to have to do it if we want to have some better fruit for the future. or not. The only alternative from here is for man to know thyself. That's it. Point blank, period. So that means you deal with the shadow. That means you sit in the dark. That means you pull away from the bros. You get silent. You get centered. You get in touch with the woman in you. Yes, it's a woman in you, nigga. That's duality. It's a woman in you. It's a reptile in you too. It's balance, yo. Balance. And it's not about talking points. It's not about being right? It's about being a good standing. But you could do it, right? Because you done did other things. You don't went to college and degrees, and so this is nothing. But until we put the woman in the right place, we are off. And I'm not just talking about protect Black women or none of that shit. I'm talking about she got to go back to the serpent. I'm not talking about the gynocracy, none of that shit. Pander, none of that. Talking about these scrolls and these scriptures. Because we're going to have to take some of this with us for balance in the digital world, because things is moving quantum. And a lot of these things is going to get lost in translation. And it's our job to take these things with us. So you can either take it or leave it. So you feel your face. You see how it feels numb. You feel high. That's what I mean by 9 on the dope. I'll catch y'all next time. Ken Billions.
The Ken Billions game is like, remember when we was all back in high school? Some of you may be still in high school or whatever, but follow me. We had the regular class, and then you had honors class. And I feel like Ken Billions' game is nothing but honors class. Everything that you learned in life and been through in life, or whatever he's talking about at that certain time, and, like point of reference, game for guys. Everybody learned game from somebody, and this and that, and it's all over the place. But once I listened to Game for Guys, it was like being in an honors class. Ken is a brilliant guy. I still listen to him to this day. Listen to him almost every other day. And I stay studying, and if I look at his video and he's giving us homework, I'm gonna look through that video. I'm gonna write my notes down. I'm gonna do my homework. Then I'm gonna watch the next video. I mean, you just can't get enough of the game and the knowledge that this brother brings to you. He's allowed me to look back into history, my own history. I found out about Black people that I never even knew about, Black millionaires and people like that. Recently, I learned about the reticular activating system, and that's something that I'm studying up on as we speak, which I plan on reprogramming myself. You know what I'm saying? So overall, the Ken Billions game has done a lot for me. It's allowed me to elevate as a man, as a father. It just allowed me to be more excited about life and not be in the program of being oppressed. And that's one of the main things for me that I have to say that this game has done for me. And I'm so glad that I ran across it.